What's up, everybody? It's Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Rocky to my Apollo Creed. It's Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, man. Little sad over the hearing of Carl Weathers passing,
I
personally.
know. Same here, dude. If we put those tears that we get into a nice, nice little container, and we put it on the stove, we get a nice stew going.
Absolutely. Here's my question,
Yeah,
because I had to think about it. What's your favorite Carl Weathers role?
it's got to be Apollo Creed or Chubbs. Like Chubbs is like that one was like my childhood. Apollo Creed was like when I got older and I, started watching the Rocky movies, but Chubbs was great.
Yep,
What about you?
it's Chubbs.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I love Happy Gilmore.
I thought there was a good chance with you it could have been whoever he plays in Star Wars. Because I'm like, I bet he's awesome. I just don't watch it.
He is awesome. He's not in it very much, and I know he's not in other stuff very much either, but like Chubbs leaves way more of an impression.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I really liked his comedy stuff. Arrested
Hmm.
Development and Happy Gilmore were just so funny.
Yeah. He was so funny in Arrested Development too. Like
Hmm.
for what was it? Two episodes, still pretty darn memorable.
Yep.
But
Just
what?
just taking his money for nothing.
But let us know down below. What was your favorite Carl Weathers related role,
Yeah.
and why was it in Rocky more than likely? Dude, like now after he passed away, like I forgot just how fucking ripped he was in that movie. It's just like, because like the part where he's like training with Rocky, teaching Rocky how to box, yeah, so he could beat up Clubber Lang. It's just like, God damn, to get on
Mm.
that level.
Was it isn't it Predator, the classic
Yeah,
clasping bicep scene?
yeah.
Um, that's a good one too. Good
Mm-hmm.
movie. Good movie. But anyway, I mean, I don't think it's just like I know that he was super jacked in that, but really your eyes go straight to
Oh
Arnold's
yeah,
bicep, which is much bigger.
dude. So not to get on the subject of Arnold being a maniac, but we're going to now since you mentioned him. There was a story that I had heard about that movie when, like, Jesse the Body Ventura, who was also in that movie, was like talking to the person that measured them, like, their seamstress or whatever, and she was like, "Oh, your arms are bigger than Arnold. Like his is only measured to here, yours." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna go over there and like do a pose down. We'll measure them together." And then then the cuts to Arnold. Arnold's like, "Yeah, I told the seamstress to tell him that his arms were bigger, even though mine were an inch bigger." It's like, Arnold, why are you so weird? He's like, so then when we measured, he did his and I did mine, and he just deflated.
He just wanted to crush that
Yeah.
man.
It's just like, why?
Oh man, that's so funny. All right.
We can get into our three things of news.
I got some trivia first.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
We got to talk about the Pro Bowl coming up, right? Or has that already happened?
I don't know. That one, nobody watches that one. Just kidding. Tons of people do, but not me.
Well, is Taylor Swift gonna be there? Because that's the only way I'll watch it.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, because is Taylor Travis Swift gonna be there? Is he good enough to be at the Pro Bowl?
The thing is like if you're in the Super Bowl, you're probably not going to the Pro Bowl so that you don't
Oh
get
yeah,
hurt.
I gotcha. Fair enough.
All right. It's been a couple weeks, but I've got three cards with two questions each. Casey will give you a brief minute to think of the answer before giving his own. First question, Casey. True or false? Nova and the other members of the Nova Corps derive their power from the Nova Force.
That would be true.
It is true. Question 2. Multiple choice if you need it. What villain employs Iron Man, Power Man, and Iron Fist, not Iron Man, asking them to arrest his former compatriots from the Sinister Six?
I'm gonna need a little bit of one things.
Is it A, the Beetle, B, Boomerang, C, Rhino?
I have no idea. I'm gonna guess the beetle.
Incorrect. It is Boomerang.
Oh, okay. Did you know that one before you read it?
Nope.
Okay. I, wa- I bet that was in that one series that's supposed to be really good, where it's like Foes of Spider-Man, maybe. I think that's what it's called. You know?
Superior Pose.
Yeah,
Yep.
I hear that comic's awesome, but I just
Yeah.
never read it.
Nick Spencer, I believe.
Yep.
All right. Question 3. Some are easier than others.
Yeah.
What is the first name of Norman Osborn's son, who also became the Green Goblin?
I was really hoping it was like, what's the name of Norman Osborn? Like Norman? It's Harry.
Incorrect. It is Harry. Question 4, again multiple choice. What is the name of the Empress of the subatomic world of Kai that Hulk fell in love with and married?
Oh, dude, I should know this, but I don't know. I think if I hear it, I should know it.
I'm sure you will because
Well,
it's just one of those where it's like, is it this one or is it Iron Man?
yeah, it's like, is it Iron Man or um Dave?
Exactly. So we've got A, Jocasta, B, Jarella, or C, Janai.
Think it's Janai.
No, it's not.
No? Is it the
It's
second one?
Jarella. Yep.
Yeah. All right. See, that's like a blind spot for me with my Hulk reading, but like it gets brought up so fucking much in like every other version of Hulk that I'm like, yeah, I kind of know it, but I don't really.
Yeah, I don't know a damn thing about that.
Yeah, it's 100% like they brought it up in like different things a lot, but I've never read it, you know.
All right, question 5, true or false? The Spy Master stole Tony Stark's armor designs and sold them to Justin Hammer.
I'm gonna say true.
It is true.
Like it's very specific if it was false.
I agree. And question 6, multiple choice. What heroine does Iron Man tap to leave to lead the new Avengers team after the fallout of Civil War?
I think I know, but I want to hear the choices.
Give me your guess.
Is it Ms. Marvel?
It is Ms. Marvel.
Okay. That's what I was thinking. But you know, I was like, there's a good chance. I've been doing terrible with the second questions, so I'm not sure.
All right, now we can get into the news.
Well, really quick, I'm gonna go with AFC winning the Pro Bowl. That's how it goes, right? Because they don't do East and West.
Yeah, a
Okay.
bold prediction.
Oof.
We'll see.
Yeah. Who all is on the AFC?
I mean, I don't know which players got chosen. I really don't.
Well, I just
I
meant like what teams are the AFC? Or is the NFC the Bears?
the NFC is the Bears.
Okay.
NFC is Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, Washington, Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings, Falcons, Panthers, Saints, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks.
Ooh, the Seahawks.
So, yeah.
I wish CNBA kind of did that. It'd be cool if they did like expansions versus originals or something like that, you know? Be pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
I agree. All right. Yeah, well, why don't you go first, man? Then I'll just do mine and we'll carry on.
All right. So my one bit of news, I'm actually pretty excited about it though. We are gonna get Godzilla Here There Be Dragons 2. It's gonna come out soon. That's all I saw. I don't know if you saw anything else on it to see if the or I didn't know like
No.
as a shop owner, if you're like, well, actually, I already put my order and it's gonna be in 4 months from now or whatever, however long it takes.
Yeah, I mean, I can see 2 months out, so it's probably just
Yeah,
like a summer thing, maybe.
I gotcha.
Do we know, is it still going to be pirate themed?
I think it's going to. Like my guess is it's a sequel. It's going to be a sequel because like it left a lot open with the last one,
True.
so it's probably just going to be like a continuation off of that and kind of. I'm again just speculating, but we got the time. It's probably going to be like we're going to see more of the culty things, and have like the Mothra and the King Ghidorah cult and stuff because it's like really your big monster that's fighting Godzilla is Ibra. Like, no, this time they're going to be bringing in the big guns.
I hope it's something crazy like Blackbeard is the one that leads the Ghidorah cult or something cool like
Yeah.
that, you know? Let's get crazy with it because why not? It's pirates and it's Godzilla.
And then like Blackbeard's like, hey, come here, Mr. Ghidorah. And Ghidorah brings down, he's like, you need this beard too. He puts beards on all three heads, and Ghidorah's like, I'm doing his head thing.
Did you write it, man? Because that was pretty specific.
Dude, I've sent that into IDW about 50 times, so we'll see if it makes it.
Here's a question though. Let's say IDW approaches you and they're like, "Hey, we want you to write a Godzilla miniseries. Do you feel comfortable doing it, or is that one that's like you know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, so I'm just gonna say this, and I mean this with the utmost confidence. I could write something better than half the people that are doing the Godzilla versus things. I mean, I also think if I could choose an artist that was like competent, it would also help too, because they can, cut the fat, because there would be a lot of fat with what I would write and a
mhm.
lot of nonsense. And they would be like, what the hell are you talking about here? I'm like, oh, sorry. My brain doesn't work like a normal brain. We got to fix this.
Oh man, never say never, man.
Yeah.
Our fame from this show will get us places one day.
Yeah. Speaking of fame from this show, if you have been to C2E2 before and you received their survey today, like I did, click other and then just put we want the Two Worlds podcast boys there. I'm doing something. I want to see if it works.
Because they sure do not care about us.
No, but maybe they'll learn.
But they should, because our episode last year about Mr. Kevin Eastman did gangbusters for our show.
Hmm. I mean, I know like tens of millions of people that are going to C2E2 this year because of us, and now they're going to be so disappointed.
Much like me, much like me. All right. So I'll do the movie news before the comic
Okay.
news. Jim Carrey is going to return as Dr. Robotnik for Sonic 3. Um, I love that because after he did Sonic 2, he said he was taking a break from acting unless he found a script so good that he just couldn't say no. And I love that that script is Sonic 3.
I like to think that they're just like, you don't need to read the script. We got a Brinks truck over here that we backed up to your house. And he's like, oh, you're right.
We also got the logo. I don't know if you saw it, Casey, but it
I didn't.
looks exactly like the Sonic Adventure 2 logo with Shadow and Sonic's little.
Okay, that's fucking rad because
Yeah,
that logo, not gonna lie, the graphic designer that made that one deserved all the money.
yep, absolutely. So I'm pumped for that. And then also, because there was a lot of Sonic movie news this week, Kristen Ritter has been cast for a role that's not been confirmed, but many people think that it is going to be Rouge the Bat.
What's your opinion on that?
I don't feel strongly one way or the other. I'm sure she'll do a fine job.
Yeah, I'm trying to like I'm gonna say this Because Rouge the Bat, I was always like, it's weird how you're trying to make this weird bat creature sexy. And Christian Ritter, in my opinion, doesn't have a sexy enough voice.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're not really going traditional with Knuckles either, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah, they're like, let's get all the sex appeal on Knuckles and not on Rouge. What is this? What is this horny bat lover supposed to do?
the thing is, man, it's like I love the first two movies so much that I'm just like, they got it under control.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure Amy was already cast. I don't
Yeah.
know who it is, but I don't.
See, Kristen Ritter would be a good Amy. I think a better Amy than Rouge.
Maybe. Let's find out. Let's find
Yeah.
out. Who? Let's see. Amy and Sonic 3.
Oh, what if Kristen Ritter was Froggy?
Ooh.
And there's just
Oh,
like
I guess it's not been confirmed.
oh, okay. And there's just like an hour long part of that movie where it's just like Zach Galifianakis is Big the Cat trying to get Kristen Ritter's Froggy. You're like, okay, this is taking like a long because he's terrible at fishing.
Well, gosh, if it's not confirmed, then maybe it is Amy.
Yeah,
The internet seems to think that it's Rouge.
I gotcha. Well, let us know down below. Do you want her to be Amy or Rouge? And do you think Rouge is sexy? Let us know.
I'm gonna make that one of my or the poll for the episode that nobody does. So if you're listening through Spotify, we almost always put a little poll, just like a yes or no or a one or the other, that you can answer. So you know what? Do us a favor and do it this week.
Yeah, we're
Um,
really trying to figure out if you guys want to bang Rouge the Bat or not. We need to know.
all right. And then the last bit of news. Rob Liefeld announced this week that he is retiring not from comics, but from Deadpool. He did this big long post, talking about how he created Deadpool, even though I I understand why he says that and that it is a technicality, but I do not really agree with it. Um, but anyway, he said that, he did Bad Blood 2 years ago, and this last year he did Badder Blood. He said this summer he's doing one more, and then after that he's not going to touch Deadpool again.
Unless,
Phrasing.
yeah, unless they give him some money. And he's like, then I will. But right now they're just asking me not to.
I don't know, man. Do you think they are asking him, or are they just like letting him do it because he wanted to?
I wouldn't be surprised. I bet like there's a thing where like with these older creators where Marvel will be like, hey, do you want to do a book with this character? And then like with Peter David and Rob and JM and all that stuff where it's like, we don't have anything current that you can do, but you are under contract with us or whatever. Do you want to do this thing instead? And then we can make some money off of it. You know what I mean? Like that's really what that stuff always seems to me.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, if you want one more thing of Rob Liefeld Deadpool for some reason, be sure to pick up whatever book he's doing this summer.
Yep. And hey, guess what, guys? That's the news.
It is very light week. And speaking of light week, Casey, what'd you read this week?
Um, I read Duke issue 2, Dark Ride issue 10, Wolverine Sabretooth War Part 2 issue 42, Batman and Robin Annual 2024, The Incredible Hulk number 8, Alan Scott Green Lantern number 4, and Batman Superman World's Finest 2024 Annual.
Um, so I skimmed the World's Finest Annual. And then I realized very quickly that it had nothing to do with the main series and that I didn't care. So if it was good, maybe.
I mean, it was hit and miss. I'll say that.
Yeah. But I read Batman Off-World 3, Batman and Robin Annual, Alan Scott Green Lantern 4, and Incredible Hulk number 8.
That's it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Dude, you're missing out on the old Sabretooth War. It's dumb, and I love it. And speaking
Why
of
don't
things
you
that
tell
aren't,
me about it?
oh, I'm gonna first go with Duke. Because this is for those that don't know, this is a pretty heavy Joshua Williamson week and pretty good all around. I'm not gonna lie. So Duke by Josh Williamson and Tom Riley on the art. I love the art. Tom Riley, I think I first saw his stuff with that Thing book, unless he did something before that that I can't recall. But
I don't know.
he is very good in this. And yeah, this is really cool too, because it's like Duke was never a G.I. Joe that I cared about really, because it's like he was the leader. It's like, oh yeah, Cyclops is my favorite X-Man. It's kind of the same thing. It's like I like the guy that straight laced plays by the books, please. Um, so yeah, like with this, he's kind of, trying to figure stuff out, and at the end, we get the Baroness, which is just like, just stop it. Just it's weird feelings that, coming back to me. I don't like it.
Embrace them, Casey. They know what
No,
they're doing.
but no, it's a lot of fun. Story's cool. Like I'm here for the story. I think it's interesting. Art's great. I like the characterization. This is probably my, like I've said before, this is probably my favorite of the new, you know, universe that they're building with these characters. It's really good. I'm gonna go. I'll just give it a 10 out of 10. It probably my pick of the week, unless Wolverine
Wow.
is. It's tied between those. So I'll say that. And then while we're on the Joshua Williamson train, we'll go to Dark Ride by Williamson and Andrea Brezen on the art. We see a little bit of stuff with the dude that the dad that makes Devilland and Halloween's doing stuff, and that's Jake's goth redhead that he loves in the covers. She did.
I am not going to deny that.
Yeah. And then there's some like pretty creepy stuff where they go on this ride and the security guard that's with them, he gets off the ride and that's a no-no. He gets fucking killed.
Wow.
Yeah. Like brutally too. It's pretty wild. And so yeah, it's a good issue. It's solid. It's just like the downside is they'd been gone for a while. Like I don't remember when the last one came out, but it had been over a month. And so, like that always hurts a book like this where I'm like, I'm trying to remember everything that happened. It's not the easiest. So yeah, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. I liked it. I'll let you do one, and then I'll hop back into my other two.
All right. Batman Off-World 3, which by the way, cover cool as all hell.
Yeah, I heard about his new puppy dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Puppy dog called Wolf. Here's another just great, cool ass picture of it.
Yeah,
It's written by Jason Aaron and art is done by you'd think that I would have had this prepared. Doug Mankey on the art. Art's pretty good. I like it about 85% of the time.
yeah,
Um, one part I'm just shaking my head. Shaking my head.
yeah,
Bruce is on Ione, the hot redhead Tamaranian ship, and she puts the move on him. And he's like, "No, thank you, ma'am."
yeah. Because he's not married to her. Everyone knows Batman's waiting for marriage.
You had me there for a second. Just like, bro, what are you doing, Bruce?
Everyone's like, you told me Tamaranians have a double vagina. I don't want to deal with that.
She's like, why are you doing the voice? You're not even in costume. It's like, I'm just nervous.
It's my first time.
Uh, anyway, it's a cool book, man. I really didn't expect to like this as much as I have been, but Jason Aaron's writing a pretty cool Batman book. So it's just Batman flying through space, kicking ass, and not making out with hot Tamaranians. So, I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad if you're Meatloaf. And at the end, we get a glimpse of two extremely creepy villains that are gonna be coming up pretty soon, called the Black Sun Twins. We get a little taste of what they can do. One of them whispered something into a prisoner's ear, and then uh like part of their head just kind of explodes. So pretty neato. We'll see what happens there, but I like it, man. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It would have a 10 out of 10 if Bruce weren't such a wet fucking blanket in this.
See, that's the difference between him and Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson would have got all up in
Oh,
that.
absolutely he would have.
And it's like, dude, you're dating Babs. And he's like, don't worry, Tom Taylor's writing me. I can just bang whoever.
But see, that's what bugged me about this is that Bruce isn't seeing anybody. And even the girl was like, man, you know, whoever you have back home must be just really worth it. Gotham must be the most beautiful place, in the universe.
He's like, just starts sweating. He's like, yeah, it is. Okay, Batman Superman World's Finest Annual. So first one, it's a Fifth Dimension story by Mark Waid and Colin Bunn with Edwin Gallman on the art. I was not a fan of this story. Like when you skimmed it, did you at least look through this one? Because it's just the Fifth Dimension imps
Yep.
debating who's got the best character, and then it's like, oh well, there's villain imps too. And like I always hate when like I get like, oh yeah, there's Batmite, but now they're like, oh yeah, we got Metamorpho version, Hawkman version, Aquaman version, all the superhero versions of like the Fifth Dimension imps. And then like, why is it Mr. Mix to look dressed like Superman then? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so stupid. But yeah, so they all argue, then it's like, oh well, there's villain versions now too. And it's like, oh, it's like this is not needed, guys. And they're like, this is to be continued in Batman's World, Superman World's Finest 25. It's like, boy, thanks for warning me. Because
The last issue is going to be more of that?
yeah, so guess who's not picking that up?
You're going to skip the final issue of the series?
Because I hated this. Like, there is nothing I care about less than fifth dimensional imps.
Dude, I'm sorry, but the collector in me is going insane even
I don't.
thinking about that.
Oh, I'm good. Then the next one, we get a Metamorpho story, but written by Dennis Culver and drawn by Travis Mercer. I like this. It kind of picks up where the last Metamorpho story took, in World's Finest took place, and it was pretty solid. I enjoyed that, and we see Metamorpho's dad. I'd like to see more Metamorpho because this was really good. I like that one a good bit personally. And then we get Bumblebee story by Stephanie Williams and Rosie Campy on the art. And this is before Bumblebee joined up with the Teen Titans. And so she's just like a kid that's working in this town, trying to figure out what's going on. And this story was kind of lame. And then we get a Challenge with the Unknown story written by Christopher Cantwell and Jorge Fiornes on the art. Art's awesome. Story's fine. I always thought challengers were cool, and I wouldn't be against getting more of them. And so yeah, this is very much a Two of the stories were pretty good, or were good. Two of them I could not be bothered to give a shit about. And, so like if I could get like $2 back, it'd be pretty good. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna go with a 6 out of 10 because, a lot of it wasn't good. Let us know down below. Do you like, you know, the fifth dimension imp crap? Are you like, ah, if there was a fifth dimension version of the Two Worlds podcast, boys, that'd be my favorite thing in the world. Because I can tell you right now, it'd be terrible.
I feel like you would be dressed as Puck, and I would be in something equally as ridiculous, like Black Condor.
Are you that big of a Black Condor fan?
Well, no, but I mean, it's just that would be some shenanigans from that dimension.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying like there'd be two imps that love us. So they're like one's wearing a Godzilla shirt and the other one has beautiful hair.
Oh, it's funny.
All right, so last up, it's Wolverine, Sabretooth War, Part 2 by Benjamin Percy and Victor Laval and then Corey Smith on the pencils. And yeah, Wolverine is fighting this whole army of Sabreteeth, and he's cutting them up, but doesn't really matter because there's just too many of them. They tie him up with adamantium, little tendril things, and then they're like, oh, you get like X-23 or Laura talking to Domino about, oh, gift idea for Wolverine and all that stuff. And then the Sabretooth that can like look like whoever shows up and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. And so they fight and stuff. And like she's taken on three Sabretooth at once, and that was pretty wild. And then like Wolverine's tied up, in the big X pose. He's
Classic.
yeah. And then you have Sabretooth just murdering people like brutally. Like there was a kid he grabs and he just
Uh,
pops his head off.
okay.
When I was a kid, my mom showed me this thing where it was like, I don't remember how it went, but it'd be like a flower. It's like so and so had a baby and the head popped off and then boop, and then like pop the head off. That's basically like it was of a flower, not an actual baby, and it'd pop off, and that's basically what happened to this mutant that I don't know whose name it is. Then we get to see a little bit of North Star and Aurora, and they fly around at super fast speeds and they kill some of these saber teeth that are the roboted ones. And Saber Wolverine's now thinking about all the people that are dying or already dead, and he like rips instances like he's tied up with adamantium. He ends up just getting his meat as and it's like my bones might be sleeved with adamantium, but my joints are made of meat and meat shreds. And so it's like his ripping himself all up so he can get out. And
Gosh.
yeah, it's just a brutal time. And then like Laura cuts off, she killed, like I said, she killed some of the saber teeth, and yeah, it's awesome. And it ends with him like, Wolverine yelling. So it's a good time. Just, like
Just
it's
fist at the sky.
yeah, he's like, I'm coming for you wherever you're at, Sabretooth. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this. I'm gonna probably give this another 10 because it's just like, yeah, this is what you expect. Something called Sabretooth War. Boy, is it not nice. What order do you want to do these last three in?
Oh, let's go Batman, Lantern, Hulk.
Alrighty.
So Batman and Robin, the 2024 annual, is it's written by Joshua Williamson with art by Casey's favorite artist, Howard Porter.
He's so hit and miss for me. This was like started off as a miss, but I liked it towards the end.
I would also like to show off my David Nakayama variant because I think it's pretty cool.
Nice.
All right, man, what'd you think?
I loved it. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Cool characters in it. I like Howard Porter's art, so this was a total hit for me. Um, but yeah, just a fun story. Like this is what you want in an annual.
Yeah. It's like the story's super cool, super fun, super interesting. And like there's one part that was just funny too. Like when they find out, people are being hunted and whatnot, they're looking at like their supplies and it's like shovel, matchbook, compass, small radio, axe, rope, cooking skewers, altar flashlight, first aid kit, small burner for cooking, binoculars, lantern, six batarangs, one katana, 10 smoke bombs, net gun. And then Bruce is like, I thought we agreed no work tools on the trip. He's like, didn't you bring the batarangs? Like the one thing that I like knocks it down for me though is like it they don't even try to hide their identity. It's just like
Yeah.
they're just like, I thought you were Bruce Wayne, but apparently you're not. You're Batman. Like that was basically like the thought process. Like this whole time I thought Bruce Wayne was here, but it's Batman that's going on vacation. Crazy.
That's so funny. Yeah, what do you rate it though, man?
I'm at a 9. Like I said, like the little bit of plot stuff that's like a little bit annoying was there, and then because I'm a stickler for secret identities, as I've discussed on here before, and then the this Howard Porter's art at times is just kind of not my favorite.
It's a 9 for me too. Howard Porter's art is great.
It is great at times. It was great in Flash. This just has spots where I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But if he wants to get on with IDW to do a Godzilla versus book with me, I'll take it.
God, imagine saying "I'll take it" to Howard Porter.
It's hilarious. Like I mean, the thought of like IDW being like, oh no, he's a little too accomplished for us. uh, so Alan Scott, Green Lantern, number 4 by Timmy Shares and Xian Tormi on the pencils. And yeah, we get some Red Lantern stuff in this one, kind of like his backstory and stuff. And yeah, this is probably the best issue yet. Would you think so? Or is it just
I completely think so.
yeah,
This was a very cool issue.
yeah,
Art is wonderful, by the
yeah.
way.
The art in this is been, I mean, like just throughout this whole series, every issue so far, it's been 10 out of 10. Sometimes stuff kind of drags with the story. No offense, Timmy.
Yeah. The man, Red Lantern though looks super cool. Like a
Yeah,
really cool golden age villain.
like very Russian.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which
For
he
sure.
is, so it makes sense.
Yeah. But I like it. I like it a lot. And
Yeah.
then that last page is just rad as hell. I mean, Alan is just yoked to the gills.
Yeah.
But
I loved
yeah.
how Alan, like the whole time, the spy dude's like, "Oh, I was playing you." Then Alan played him right back at the end. That was pretty dope.
Yep. He's a smart cookie.
Yep. But yeah, dude. I mean, like I said, this is probably like the best issue so far. This series might just be better as a whole collected. So after you're done buying the singles, that are listening, buy it collected from Comic Headquarters.
Yeah,
Do and then compare
please.
them. But we're
Um,
we're at with it.
man, I'm gonna say like 8.5.
I was feeling about an 8. Like there's and this has been a problem with the series as a whole is there's a lot of explaining. And that's like a bit of knock for me for the series as a whole. And then this happened in this one. It's like there's a lot of like fat that could have been trimmed, I felt, but it's still good.
Yep, agreed. And our final book is The Incredible Hulk #8. And it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Nick Klein. And dude, I gotta say, I thought this issue was rad.
I did too. There was one part that I didn't really like, and I'll show it to you because like I get because like the page before they're like, oh, Hulk's starting to fight, the monster that's inside him, but then here he's still possessed. And he's got the car on his hand, and then he like, ooh, and then boom, and then it cuts to no longer possessed.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. That doesn't, I'm like, how the hell? Like it was one of those things. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was super cool. Ghost Rider and Hulk were awesome together. And I'm gonna say this again. It's just more proof that we can have more than one Ghost Rider. We can have 50 because Ghost Riders are just cool no matter what. Unless he's on a car, because then it's like not really rider, he's driver, and Ghost Driver sounds dumb.
Yeah, I really like the personality of this one.
Yeah, it's cool. Like it's a neat twist where it's just like, oh yeah, my job is just to protect this kid.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty rad.
I gotta show this page too, because Nick Klein is off the fucking chain when it comes to art. But the
Hmm.
monster, I mean, that is some like straight out of Bloodborne type shit right there.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
So yeah, I like it. I like the story. And it looks like next issue too, we're gonna get another like, creepy backwoods person story, which I've been
Yeah.
digging those in this series too. Also, I really like how so Ghost Rider and Hulk team up to fight the Beast, and I like the way they do it. Like Hulk can just withstand, I assume. I mean, unless maybe Ghost Rider's like, no, chains don't burn Hulk. But it's like
Yeah.
Hulk can just grab onto the flaming chains and
Yeah.
uh, you know, it feels like it feels like Ultimate Alliance where you would combine the powers to do something cool. That's what they're doing
Yeah.
in this issue.
Hmm.
I
And it's
love it.
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm at a 10 for this one. This one's my pick of the week personally. I really like this book.
Yeah, I'm feeling about a nine. Like I said, some of that one part kind of bothered me, but for the most part, I really liked it. This series is getting better each issue. Um, yeah, it's like the one thing too was like the end. He's like your weak spot's the girl. It's like he kind of just met her. It's like I get that Hulk likes people that are damaged too, but like that's not really his weak spot yet. He's just
Right?
he's just not gonna let this girl get killed.
Yeah.
But like their talk at the end was fun. Or not fun, but it was cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I'd read a Philip Kennedy Johnson miniseries with that Ghost Rider.
Absolutely. I'm kind of hoping that we get one.
Yeah. All right, man. What are you excited for?
I'm pretty excited for the hilariously named How to Lose a Guy Gardner in 10 Days.
Yeah.
I think that's DC's like Valentine's Day special this year, but
Yeah.
I looked at the cover. I like everybody that's on the cover, so I'm hoping that it's a good one.
Is there any fun variants that you're going to be looking at too? Because I know sometimes they have those.
I try not to go crazy with these because it's one of those like $8 or $10 books, so
Yeah,
I keep it pretty low.
I gotcha.
But one of them, I think one of them's got a good fire and ice variant, so I imagine I'll be picking that one up.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go with Dark Souls, The Willow King. I've been looking forward to that since I talked about the announcement on this show a while back. And then, without a doubt, my most anticipated is Thundercats #1. Cannot
That's
fucking wait.
that's gotta be like top top three. I'm gonna even toss out there most anticipated books of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm going to be so, so sad if it's not cool.
it they just have like really great art for the Thundercats, but then it's all just like Cats the musical dialogue.
Oh, boy.
So you're like, yeah, I'm gonna keep reading it, but when Shira or whoever started doing memories, I don't know.
It's Chitara, man.
So,
Come on now.
who's Shira? That's
She-Ra
somebody.
is He-Man's sister.
Oh, okay. Is she a cat also?
Dude, here's what's crazy is you and I, like, together, we've got the 80s cartoons, but like
Yeah.
not the same ones.
Except, dude, except both of us have a blind spot for Transformers, which it's
True.
like I still to this day will say that's so weird. Like you seem like you should be a Transformers fan with all of your rest of your love for 80s cartoons, you know?
True. True. It's just like I at this point in my life, it's like, do I want to try to get into it? And will I think it's cooler than Voltron or Robotech? And the answer is probably not.
And then it's like also, do you really want to just, be remortgaging your shop so that you can be buying some of these expensive ass
Dude,
toys?
for real.
Dude, there's this one, and it's like I'm not a Transformers guy, as I just stated, but it's so fucking cool because it's like you'll just be like it's like they have it for Optimus Prime and one of the bad guys, like the T-Rex one. You can be like say its name, and you're like what? And then, like the T-Rex one, and you'll be like transform, and he'll like and he'll transform, and then you can like transform, he'll transform back. I'm like that's so fucking cool.
It
But,
is cool.
but at the same time, like it's Transformers. I don't collect that.
And it's probably like $700.
More than likely.
Your
Okay,
turn.
so I'm gonna say I'm excited, even though I don't know how excited I really am for it. But the Godzilla Valentine's Day special, it'll be like $10 and stick figures on the inside.
No, no, it's gonna be those Twitter posts you find about
Oh
Mothra and
yeah.
Godzilla.
Oh Lord. Like that's one of those things where it's like they need to do something different on X because it's just like they'll be like Godzilla's trending. I'll click it, like kind of looking through. Then he'll just be like one random one where like Godzilla's got this like gnarly dick and he's fucking Mothra. It's like why? And then I'll say, oh, let's go with One Hand. I'm really excited about that. I found out about that like last week, and then I was like, oh, it's coming out. Cool. I better remember to get this because the name is not memorable.
Yeah, I'm gonna read that one too.
Are you going to check out both? Probably, since the other
Yeah,
one's the Dan Waters.
yeah, for sure.
And then I will say Shazam probably. I know She-Hulk. I like She-Hulk more than Shazam. But now it's time for Fantastic Four. So, I'm still on the Oscar train. So give me four comics that you like. I really like these ones. And these ones are like, they could be adapted and you could see them actually being nominated for an Oscar if they were adapted well.
All-Star Superman. We knew
Yeah.
that was coming.
Yeah.
That would be my number one choice. Two, I think if actually adapted, it would not only be the best blockbuster of the year, but could also be nominated. And that's Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Um, gosh, there's probably some like really like deep, meaningful, great comics out there, and I can't fucking think of them right now. I'm sorry if this is one of yours, but probably Starman could be up there.
I could see
I
that. Yeah.
That wouldn't be one movie because there's way too many issues
Oh,
for
yeah.
one movie. But if you did his whole story,
Yeah.
why not, right?
Yeah.
And gosh, I went all DC. If they hadn't fucked it up and had done God Butcher exactly as they should have, that would have been one of the best Marvel movies ever, and no reason why it wouldn't have won something.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm gonna go my first one, like, and this is also this would be Oscar baity, like but it'd be X-Men. God loves, man kills. And then I was also thinking like, and don't it wouldn't win for anything major, but maybe like best score for Batman: The Long Halloween. But like I love that one.
Yeah, that would be
And
good.
yeah, it's like don't get me wrong, I know that's it's like, oh yeah, movie about a guy in a bat suit and it's crime related. There's no way that's gonna actually win for best picture, but maybe best score. Then I think Why the Last Man, if it had ever been done correctly in multiple movies or anything, it could have won something. And then let's go with, I'm trying to think of like a good Spider-Man story that Spider-Man Blue. They adapted that. The maybe the second best Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale Marvel book. Because it's like right there with Daredevil Yellow.
Yeah. Also, I am a little surprised neither of us said Saga. Like, if they did a movie about that,
That's just one of those ones where it's like, I don't think they could do a movie about
yeah, no, probably
that.
not. All right. That's the end of the episode, folks. Closing plugs. If you would, head on over to facebook.com/Two Worlds Podcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at two_worlds_PC and on Instagram at Two Worlds Pod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head on over to our YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube and subscribe.
Leave a comment down below about, you know, what your favorite book that you would want to see adapted would be, and, some Carl Weather related stuff. And I don't know what books you're excited about, what books were your favorite.
Yeah,
And
talk to us. We'd love
yeah,
to hear it.
just, do some stuff. But yeah, we'd love to stay in chat. But Jake's gotta teach me how to beat the shit out of Clubber Lang because I pity that fool. Bye, guys.
Bye.